All right,
Okay,
so here's
got it.
question
Yeah,
number
so those
2.
would be the two.
Yeah, so in real estate, especially as you're migrating now into real estate sponsorship, and my whole focus is real estate. So let me ask you this. What's been the hardest lesson you've learned in real estate?
The hardest lesson that I've learned in real estate is, I would say, also the hardest lesson I've learned in business over the past 30 years, which is that people lie a lot more than they should. When I started in the business 30 years ago, I was I was dealing primarily with financial institutions, British Merchant Bank, my word is my bond. We were doing, $100 million transactions, even billion-dollar transactions, on the telephone without a tape line. And you pretty much knew the people that you were dealing with, and you knew that if they said they were going to do something, then they were going to do it. And what we found, I would say in the past 10 years, is that the barriers to entering that club or entering that sort of framework have dropped. And you get a lot of charlatans, you get a lot of liars, you get a lot of pathological people who you just can't trust. And so the need to run background checks and sort of assume the worst in people in a lot of cases, unfortunately is just the reality, because unless you take steps to protect yourself, you're going to likely end up on the wrong end of a transaction without any recourse. So I would say that's the hardest lesson is I'm not so jaded that, I've kind of lost faith in mankind or anything like that, but I just think you have to be careful in a way that 30 years ago, maybe I didn't have to be quite so careful.
It's really interesting. Actually, the way you describe how it was 30 years ago is exactly how it was 120 years ago.
Right.
So the way that they used to trade, it's really incredible. Maybe it's just the advent of technology that's really screwed everything up. At the end of the day.
Yeah,
right?
you wonder, right? I really do wonder, because I remember when I was first starting out, and I was a puppy, right? I was 21 years old, and and basically there was always an expectation that if you said something, you had to live up to it, even if you lost money, even if it cost you your job, whatever, because it might cost you your job, but it wouldn't cost you your career. Whereas if you reneged on a deal or you backed away from something, it was the kiss of death.
Right, and now you can just create an avatar online and become somebody else in a second, right?
Exactly,
right?
And you read these stories about people doing just that, and it's shocking.
It is shocking.